When we are creating CAD drawings, whether we're using pencil and paper or CAD software, it's very important that we're accurate. So I'm going to show you some tips in this video that will help you maintain accuracy throughout all of your drawings. So the tools we're going to be looking at are located in the bottom right corner of your screen, and we're going to focus on the Object Snap tool, the Ortho tool, and the Polar tool. So Object Snap, or OSNAP, is a tool that you can turn on and off at any time simply by clicking on it. So you'll see when it is turned on, it is highlighted in blue, and when you turn it off, that highlight disappears. Now you can control what you're turning on and turning off by clicking on the little up arrow here, and it shows you a list of different objects or aspects of objects on your screen that you can snap to. And that means when I move my cursor close to the object, it will snap to a certain point. So the 5 that are going to be useful for us in our drawings coming up through this unit are endpoint, midpoint, intersection, center, and tangent. So if I can get you to turn those on and off, and you simply do that by clicking beside each one as you go. So I'll go back to my settings, I'll turn that one back off again. So if I can get you to pause the video for a second and turn on those 5 settings, I will then show you how they work. And this will help you, as I said, be accurate with your drawings. So first one we're going to look at is endpoint. So I have some drawings on my screen. I've got 3 objects, a rectangle, a circle, and a line. And I'm going to demonstrate this by taking another line, and I'm going to look at endpoint first. So if I go near the end of a line, you're going to see, oh, I can turn my OSNAP on first. So right now those settings are chosen, but I have to turn it on for it to become active. So there you see it highlighted in blue. Now I will take my line, and I want to draw a line from the end of this line. And you'll see when I get close, that little blue square appears. So that means I am going to snap to that endpoint tool. And I can draw my line off wherever I want to go. Now, while I'm drawing this line, you'll see numbers floating around by my cursor. The number to the left of my cursor tells me how long that line is. So right now it's 81 and 0.2483 units long. And the other little box tells me the angle that I am on, 33, 34, 40 degrees. So for this example, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to click and draw another line. So there we have our first line using endpoint snap. So that is snapped accurately onto the end of that line. I'm going to demonstrate that again. This time I'm going to use midpoint. So if I want to draw a line from the middle of this line, I come close to the middle, and there you see the little triangle representing midpoint. And I can go ahead and draw my line from there. I can also draw from the middle of a circle. So again, I'm going to use this circle as my example. I come close to the line of the circle, and you'll see that center appear. Now, don't look for it in here. You're not going to be able to snap to it in here. Go to the line of the circle itself, and then you click, and the line will come off that circle. All right, so there's our first 3 object snap options. So we have looked at endpoint, midpoint, and center. So we're also going to look at intersection and tangent. So the intersection is a fairly simple one, fairly self-explanatory. Any point where 2 lines cross each other, there will be a snap feature available for you. And there it is there. Intersection, and away I go with my line. I'll draw that line to this endpoint. And the last one is called tangent. And what that means is if I start a line and I want to cross a circle right at the apex of that circle, I can start my line wherever I want, and when the line gets tangent to the circle, it will show you that point, and you can click and attach. So that one's going to be important later on when we tackle one of our more complex drawings, and that'll become evident when we get there. Okay, so all those different examples will help you be really accurate with your lines and your connections. And again, you can change those settings at any time, and you can turn them off at any time. Now we're going to look at another object snap tool called Ortho. and it controls the line of your object. So if I want to draw a line and I want this line to be perfectly horizontal, I will turn my ortho on, and you're going to see then that it keeps my lines either vertical or horizontal. So this is going to be really useful when we're drawing some examples today of our wooden blocks. We need our lines to be perfectly flat or vertical, and Ortho does that for you. And again, you can start a line and you can finish it. You can turn your ortho on and then do a different line and do what you need to do to make your drawing work. So again, there's OSNAP and ortho. And the last one we're going to look at is called polar. And polar allows you to set the angle of a line from a bunch of preset values. So I like to turn on the 45-degree line because that's the line we're going to need when we're doing some of our orthographic projections. So I can use my ortho tool to make sure my lines are vertical and horizontal. And when I'm drawing my 45-degree projection line, and I have my polar turned on, there we go, and I draw my line, you're going to see that when I get to 45 degrees, there it is right there. It snaps to 45 degrees and tells you with your angle that you're on 45 degrees. Now it also by default gives you 90 degrees and 0 degrees. Those are always going to be on, and you can set that angle again to whatever you want. And I'm going to again suggest that 45 is where you leave it. Okay, so those are really useful tools. And remember that CAD is not about creating artistic, beautiful drawings. It's about creating accurate, precise drawings. So keep those tools in mind, and I'm going to insist that you make sure you use them. The more you use them, the more familiar you'll become with them, and they'll become second nature to you as you work through these drawings in this unit. Okay.